Google Week 5, how to become a Google Ninja. So let's take a break from the normal things that we're used to doing and have some fun with some tips and tricks. So first off, I'm going to show you how to do some split screens. So you can take your cursor over to the side of your screen, or at the top, see how I have double arrows? And that means I can drag it and resize my computer, my computer screen that I'm looking at. So I'm going to make it smaller so I can pull this tab out, or any tab out of here. So let's say I want to work on my It's Learning with this Google Doc, or maybe I'm grading. I can just pull this tab out by holding it and clicking, and then it's side by side. If I want it back in, I'm going to grab it, just dragging it back over to the toolbar, just like this. So now I can see two things at once. Okay? So that's a real quick way of having a double screen, so you can maybe watch the video over here and then have your other screen over here so you can click around. Next up, let's practice using tabs, just to make sure that you're familiar with the quick and easy way to use tabs on Google Chrome. So if you take a look at the top, I have all these different tabs going on. You can right-click a tab just like this one, and you can pin it. When you pin it, it makes it a small tab over here on the left, so you won't close it when you're closing all your different windows. So if I pin this one, it's favorited now and I can come back to it. So now that it's small. So when I click on it, see there's no X. So this makes it convenient because then I can close out all these ones but not the specific one on accident. You can also unpin it if you don't want it there anymore. Let's say I also have all these other tabs open that I don't need. I can right-click this and close all the tabs to the right all at once, and they're gone, which is pretty convenient. Another one to practice is practicing doing a bookmark. So if you want a specific bookmark, so let's say that we're researching Google applications, and I'm looking up for something cool. So here's Google Apps for Education. And I really like this website that I'm researching and I want to find something cool on it. I come up to the top and I hit the yellow star. This yellow star, when it's yellow, creates it as a bookmark. So I have to decide what to call it and where to put it. So what I'm going to call this one is Google Apps. I can keep that name or I can just change it. And then I decide, do I want it on the bookmark bar, which is the one that goes across here, or do I want it in a bookmark folder bar that comes down this way? So I'll first show you the Google Mark bar. So I just hit done, and then if you notice it didn't show up here because I have so much going on up here, so it just extended down this way. So I can drag it if it's important and just pull it up to the top if I want. You may not have a whole bunch up here, that's okay. Alright, let's say that I keep clicking around on this specific website and I find some other cool things. So, products. And I'm like, oh, I need to look at Gmail. I'm opening these all up in new tabs so you can see all these tabs opening them up at the top. And so when I'm looking at them, I may want all these tabs, because I find them helpful, in that folder. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to bookmark all these tabs into a folder. So I'm going to call this a Google folder on the bookmark bar for now because I want you to see it coming across. I'm going to hit OK. So you haven't seen it come up because I have too many, so we're going to pull this folder and see how all of the tabs that I have open just went right in that folder. Now I can just close them all out, which is nice. So I'm going to right click, close all the tabs to the right, and they're gone. And then I'm going to drag this folder up to the top so you can see it. So now I can click on any of these at the same time. But I want this one now in here, so I'm just dragging it inside. There we go. Now it's gone. You can get rid of the folder if you want by just deleting it, but I'm not going to do that yet because I want you to see another option. Instead of doing putting this in the Google folder, maybe I want to put it in other bookmarks or a different folder. So I'm going to choose another folder to create one. I want it under the other bookmarks because that's over here. There's a list that drops down. I'm going to put new folder. by titling it Google Week 5 and hit save. So that should pop up right here, which is awesome. And then I can get rid of this folder and drag it into any of these other ones if I want. So you can manipulate your folders as much as you want just by moving and clicking, or clicking the star and changing where you want things to go. Okay? So let's go and delete that because we don't need it, but you can practice. Google Week 5, I'm going to delete, and it's gone. Alright, so that's bookmarks. You can also shorten the name of the bookmarks. So let's look at this FHS Google Class. I must have retitled something else, but that's okay. So this is our login for Franklin, and I'm like, oh no, I typed in the wrong name. All I have to do is click Edit, and I can say FHS Login or PD Login. Change the name, and now it's up there. So it depends on what you want to name it. Maybe this one is too long, FHS Homepage. I can edit it and just call it FHS because I know what it is. It's mine. There we go. So all of these bookmarks will be there on any computer that I log on to. So I just have to log into Chrome by over here signing in. So you may already be signed in on this specific button, but if you are on a different computer, you can sign in and sign out right here, and all of your bookmarks will be there for you. So on any computer, which is pretty cool. All right. So next up, I just created that document. Wrong folder. All right. So we did the Google Week 4 with different things with spreadsheets and stuff, which we'll continue on with next time. But this time I want you to practice some extensions. So there's extensions in App in Google. When you open up a new tab by just clicking right next to it, see there's this little tab I clicked on, you can see apps at the top of your bookmarks bar. So it's a little button right here. You click on it and it shows all the different kind of applications you have. You can go into the store, and if you can't find this, there's another way by just going into your Drive, and you can find the Google Store this way as well. Just click more and you can find anything through this section. Okay? So first off, I want to show you extensions or add-ons. There's lots of different ones. I'm clicking add-ons, and this is where I'm going to find different add-ons for Google Documents. So I click Get Add-ons, and there's a whole bunch of ones. The first one I'm going to show you is EasyBib, so you can click on that. You might be familiar with it already. I'm going to click it. Yours is blue, so click this because I've already added it. And make sure you hit Accept, and then it's going to show up here. These are the ones I've added on. So to use this, I'm going to click Manage. And this is an easy way for students to create a works cited or bibliography page. So all I have to do is click the book or the website or article in here. So I'm going to say my French book is BND, for example. And say it's 2008. I click Select. I can choose MLA, APA, or Chicago. I'll go for MLA right now. Click the red button, and then they just created a works cited for me. Let's say I'm changing it for history class, and I click Chicago. I can click the red button and it switched it to bibliography page for me. So that's a really cool app. All right. Another way to look up things, which is a cool trick, is the Google Dictionary. So I just double click on a word. So let me double click on this word. And I can say define or research it, depending on what I want to do. And that's just going to pop up the definition. But that's just in a Google Doc. Let's say I'm researching something like Google extensions. And I start reading about Google extensions, even here or when I click on the web page, it doesn't matter where. And let's say that I double click and I'm like, what does this mean? I can look it up in the dictionary and it'll pop up right here. So this is a function just on Google Chrome, which is pretty neat. Okay. There's a whole bunch of other ones. I'm going to show you one more. So I'm going to show you a Google application, which I showed you is under this button up here. So clicking on the Google application button, and I'm going to click on Store. So whatever subject you have or whatever you want to add that you think could be helpful, you can just search it up here. So I'm going to say graphing calculator. And they give you a whole bunch of different options for calculators. I'm looking at the stars. This one has a lot of stars. That means a lot of people are using it and like it. So I'm going to click on it, plus free. This is the extension button if you want to. So I click on it and it adds. So since I've already opened it, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Under my applications, I can click on the graphing calculator. And this is pretty cool because all I have to do is type in my function, and then it'll graph it for me. And I can do multiple ones. Now notice how I purposely did this specific one because there's something wrong with it, and it'll tell me right here. So this one got graphed and this one didn't. So that means I need an equal sign somewhere. And then it'll show me where it's hitting the lines. So that's a pretty cool function that you can do right into Google. So next up, your homework. I shared this Google Week 5 document with you. So what I want you to do when you're done is I want you to click here on this little thing. You just click on it and then come down below and click the link. And you get to find a new Google app. So what I did is I have students already researching for you, and we're going to have one document for everyone to share. They are finding where first. So is it under add-ons, which is up here? Is it under the Google Store where I just showed you? Or is it where I showed you last under Google Drive? So let me show you where that is one more time. You hit Create, Connect to More Apps, and this is all the apps in the Google Drive section. So this is where you're going to find something cool for everyone to share. And they put the name of it, like you've already seen the Kaizenna, where you can do talking comments, and then a short description. So everyone's collaborating on this, teachers and students. All right, have fun with this one, and we'll start with spreadsheets next week.